Hi, Ujwal. Thank you very much for being here.
Happy to be here.
Okay. So, for those who don't know you, could you tell us a bit about yourself and your connection to UTC?
For sure. My name is Ujwal Mantha. I went here for 4 years and I survived it. I actually came here to do astrophysics, but then I ended up doing a double major in art and sociology. And I've exhibited at Gallery 1265, and recently I managed to get one of my artworks, the Patchwork House of Night, exhibited in the library for posterity and for everyone to see. When I first came to UTC, I never expected I would be doing arts. When I did actually decide ultimately to go from astrophysics into the arts program, I didn't have any plan in mind. I just wanted to enjoy it as much as I could. So a few of the highlights, I think the first artwork I ever made was the Fibonacci toilet, where I took toilet seats and arranged them in the form of the Fibonacci sequence. Because if you think about it, the Fibonacci sequence is everywhere in nature, and so is poop. So I thought that would be kind of a wonderful start to an artistic career that I think is based in just having fun with the medium and the subject of the concept. Most recently, I ended my time at UTSC with a very significant contribution in the form of the Patchwork House of Night, which is now exhibited at the library, and of course, works with Gallery 1265, which I'm eternally grateful for, and your help included.
How do you find your inspiration for your artworks?
Do you know the book Frankenstein?
Yes.
You know how the author talks about essentially this mad doctor whose name is Frankenstein. It's actually Frankenstein's monster con misconception. But you know how he basically stitches together different body parts to create his monster?
Yes.
I identify with him a lot. I feel like my art is often me finding, not to be too morbid, but different body parts from around various mediums, metaphors, and styles, and stitching them together in ways that I think works in the end. I would like to think that a few inspirations that you have touched upon, like anime and of course tabletop role-playing game, really just the entire fantasy genre, and as well with subjects like physics. All of those things have contributed to the artist I am today.
How does a medium draw you, or like how does a form draw you? For you, does the form comes first, or like does the idea come first? How does that work?
It's always concept over medium. For me, it's very important that I use whatever means necessary to get the idea across. So if it means that I need to sand the wood together to make a sculpture just for that one idea, then I'll do it and I'll learn how to do it. I don't enjoy the idea of being restricted to any one medium, mainly because I know for a fact that I feel like it's easier for me to get bored if I do that. And I already switched subjects to like a whole new field, and I'm not really interested in getting bored.
How does your creative process work? Like you mentioned that like your form comes second and the idea comes first, but like once you get the idea and once you get a certain idea on form, what's the next process? Because I know, for example, your Patchwork House of Night took 1 month. You just did it like for the Inktober. I think I just painted it over 1 month. But thought process of that probably has been like baking into the back of your head for a long while.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, I planned the entire Patchwork House of Night the day before I started.
No.
But you are right to say that the actual project, the artwork itself, would have taken a long time, maybe unconsciously. I believe that the inspiration that I do get from different sources, I keep within me, and essentially like any artist, I believe this is just what every artist does, starts finding ways to combine it and bring it together on the day of you make the artwork. For Patchwork House of Night, I just put a simple framework, a structure, which was I will make one canvas every day without fail. Then it was just simply a matter of taking things from my repertoire of information and filling that structure. I think that is the most important thing in art. If you're making an artwork, you just develop a structure and then almost like an architect building around a wireframe, do the same thing.
How do you feel about that connection and that relationship?
I made the artwork. I made the Patchwork House of Night because I had not made art for a while before that. And I made it so that I could get back into the practice of making. And I made it for reasons, everything that came after the exhibition, the prize, getting it exhibited at the library were also prizes. And I think that's why I enjoyed the whole process so much. I never expected anything from that work.
Or what tips would you give to like someone who's just in their first year or like just starting out in the arts? What would be like your top 3 tips?
So a lot of art is luck, but luck's a skill. And honing luck as a skill really comes down to talking to the right people so that it increases your chances of being in the right place at the right time. I got lucky, really lucky when I met you and talked to you. And then I've been in the right place and at the right time many times after that to get my work in Gallery 1265, to meet the right people, to even get the work acquired by the University of Toronto Scarborough, is because I knew the right people. Because there's a huge misconception amongst artists even and romantic youngsters who want to like romanticize the arts, think it's like a lonely thing to be the solo artist who makes $1 million. But art is community. Art is being with other people. Art, the best art is made when you're making it for someone else, even if that someone else is yourself. And I think that if they take networking to heart and make art in relation to the world they live in, people they're meeting, I think that they will find themselves in the right places and at the right time much more often and have a chance at the arts.
I could make it more of that. And last but not least, you've done everything and you're moving on to UK. What are you most looking forward to?
I have a huge project in mind. It's probably going to be the summation of the Patchwork House of Night, the Wandering the Mindlands, and all the last three series the last series I've made. It's going to be essentially the capstone work of that, where I'm trying to combine all of the work together into one universe and fleshing it out. The simple question I'm trying to answer is the same question I started to answer with Wandering the Mindlands. If your mind was a place you could travel to, what would it look like? But not just like if it was a room or like a house. What if your mind was a world, a country? What would its customs be like? What would its people interact with? How would they interact with each other? When you're anxious, is that like a civil war? Are they angry at other people inside? How does your mind interact with each other as a civilization does? And I think that work would be, first of all, really fun to look at, but also ask important questions about how we see societies as people and people as societies. The title of the work, the tentative title that sounded nice and posh, was Fragile Kingdoms, which was because I think that there is no thing as incredible as knowing that a person is an entire kingdom and civilization unto themselves that you can destroy by just throwing a rock the wrong way at their head.
Thanks. I'm looking forward to it.
I hope everybody enjoyed that interview. You can find more of Ujwal and his work in the link down in the description, and comment down below what you want to see more from the gallery. That's it for now. Bye-bye.